This is the fourth programme in the series in which we are showing you how we turned my road-going Skoda Felicia into a Group N rally car to compete in the coming Skoda Trophy Rally Championship. My car was stripped of all components and ancillaries, then sent off to a motorsport fabricators for the welding up of the seams, the fitting of the cage, painting of the car and cage, and some of the preparation for the forthcoming season. I had a deadline to meet. I had to be on a ferry bound ultimately for Norway to visit John Hogland's Winter Rally School to take lessons from John in car handling using spiked tyres on a frozen lake. But tonight, another seat of learning. Whilst the car is being prepared, there's other things to consider. One of the things being the seat. And I'm at a competition seat place in Radcliffe in Manchester at Motor Drive. Alan is fitting me for this seat. Alan, what do you need to know?
Well, first of all, obviously, what we do is we put you into a shell, seat shell, that's about your size, so I can feel that there's room at the side. Okay, so this seat has to hold you, doesn't it? Absolutely. The whole idea of a competition seat is that you don't move in the car. Right. And it holds you and it protects you. Right, so
at the moment this feels a bit uncomfortable.
Right. We find this, first of all, when somebody first sits in the seat, we actually try and put them into a seat slightly bigger than their own frame. Right. Then we can bring it back to their size. Right. What I want you to do is sit in this seat for a small period of time. Let me just have a feel.
Okay. It feels quite tight, it does grip.
To make sure everything is about right. What I'd like you to do now is sit in that for a few minutes, right. Then come out of the seat, and then when you sit back in it again, you can be a lot more constructive in your criticism, right. And we can go from there.
Okay. I've got to sit here for 5 minutes, and they've left me, and they've gone for a cup of tea. It's getting comfier though. Right, Alan, this is getting comfortable now.
You feeling a little bit better?
Yeah,
good. I did say you would do. It's still, I think, a little large here.
Yeah. Will that not give?
No. What we're going to try and do with this area is probably pad it back to you now. Right. And we've got to leave it slightly large there because you're a big lad here. On your shoulders, you're larger than your waist. Right. Right. So we'll take the largest section of you, which are your shoulders. Yeah. And then we'll bring the rest of the seat back to you. Right.
Are you also looking at the length of the back of this?
Yes, I am.
Right.
Exactly. Well, if I can just put the belt on for you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. That feels good.
Now I can actually hold you in the seat and know exactly how you're going to sit in the car.
Right. Okay. Does it need a little bit there?
Possibly a little bit. Yeah. But we're looking quite good. I think we're going to need a little bit more.
I'll tell you where I do need some, and that's in my back and the lumbar part of the back.
No problem. All right. We can actually build that in for you. Yeah. What we're going to have to try and do is determine exactly where that's got to go. I think even at the late stage of in the vehicle itself. Right. Once we know exactly where it's going to go, then we can actually build it in for you. So that's not a problem. But apart from that, it's looking good.
Right, so you've made the shell in the fiberglassing room. We're now in the spraying room. We've got in front of us two different shells made of different substances. Do you want to tell us what they are?
Yeah, this one, the one that looks like a bee on the back. The yellow is Kevlar. Yeah. And the black is carbon fibre. This is woven together and then made into a seat shell. Right. This seat is a Kevlar composite seat. Right. Which is a glass seat reinforced with Kevlar.
That's glass fibre, is it?
Glass fibre reinforced with Kevlar. All the strengthening areas, the mountings, the pickup points for where you're mounting the seat, and the strengthening points across your kidneys, across the base of the seat, and down the spine of the seat. Right. Okay. Are done in Kevlar. Yeah,
I noticed this one has got the foam already stuck to this.
Various different ways of foaming different seats. Right. This, as it happens, is our Clubman seat, which is the least expensive in our range. Okay. And it takes the least foam to actually do anything to it.
These are two different foams, are they different?
Two different densities, yeah? For two obviously different reasons. Right. under here there's some extra padding anyway,
yeah.
and under the front of the seat there's some extra padding.
You'll need that.
Your legs.
You'll need that
but
when
in
you're
the
going through forests.
sides, on a clubman's seat there's very, very little, whereas on a professional seat the padding is totally, totally different and is made to measure for the individual people.
Okay, so when it's been through this process, where do we go next?
We then go to the cutting and sewing room.
Right.
Okay.
Let's go and have a look at that.
This is our cutting room. In here we lay all the different materials out,
right, and
lay the patterns, of which we have one or two.
Okay.
On the material, usually the material then is built up maybe 10 deep, and then the cutter is used to cut all the different parts out.
So it's economical?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
From here, once all the material's cut,
yeah,
then it's got to be sewn together.
Yeah.
For that I've got to take you to another room.
Back out the door, eh?
Yes, it's through the door.
Okay.
Into the sewing room. In the sewing room, all the pieces you saw being cut out there, right, all come together to form, in this case, this is a centre for a clubman's seat. Right. Or, in this case, this is a professional cover. Right. You can see all the different pieces sewn together. Mm-hmm. This is the type of seat that you're actually having.
Oh, okay.
So all we've now got to do is decide what colour we're having, right, and what colour embroidery, right, and are we having our name on it? No, we're not having anything else.
So when all those ingredients are put together, you get a competition seat. Speaking of seats, guess whose seat I'm sat in?